37 seconds of lie logos. Lying to your kids.
Mama? Bartolo?
Worst game of hide-and-seek ever. Also, the opening of this movie is confusing, since the kid is calling out for only 2 people, even though we saw 4 people dancing a minute ago. They explain this later, that the father cheated on the mother, but they juxtapose 2 very different times of this family's life in a bewildering manner, and this movie can go f itself for doing that. Also, on one hand, this is awful, but on the other, it did lead to major baptismal reform.
Mama, no!
This annoying trend of horror movie titles attacking the audience is trendy and annoying, and the least the filmmakers could do is take a tip from Friday the 13th Part 3 titles and add disco. For those of you who love the opening tracking shots of De Palma and Scorsese films, I suggest you watch one of those, because this one isn't interesting whatsoever.
Chris, in case I'm late for interviews and there's dinner in the fridge.
Meatloaf, got it.
Hey Daryl, how can we make sure everyone realizes this is a 70s? How about we just put that title card up there that says 1973 and play some generic 70s music? That's not really enough. I think we need something else to get the point across. How about we just have a kid say Meatloaf? Brilliant, Daryl. We don't pay you the minimum daily union mandated wage for nothing.
She has no kids.
She has support at home.
Because her husband isn't dead.
That's a live husbandist.
Stay away from that door!
Can't you just tell her as calmly as possible without tackling her? How is being near the door a problem? The door is locked, and only you have the key.
Oh my gosh, how did that happen?
She did it.
I know these are just kids, but they're playing of the pronoun game totally their mother, those motherfuckers.
No, it wasn't her.
Anna never follows this up because she's convinced the mom did this. And who wouldn't? Even if the kid started talking about demons, the mom's going to jail. But still, wouldn't you be curious about the her he brings up? Maybe it's an aunt, a family fiend. Interesting. Velma lets her kids watch Scooby-Doo.
There was meatloaf in the fridge. Did Chris warm it up for you?
He's about to! Oh man, this reminds me of that Save the R charity that St. Victoria's put on 6 weeks ago. It did not go well. Met my wife, though. Oh, I see this children's services location has a false scare night guard on duty.
Tomas!
Jesus, wasn't there a security guard walking through here not 40 seconds ago? Wasn't he checking all the rooms? Okay, fine, but why did La Llorona make his brother Tomas walk out into the hallway in a trance? Why not just get them while they're in the room? Yeah, I guess this is creepier, even though it's more work. It's one of those things where I swear filmmakers just wanted to do this thing with the hallway mirror, but didn't consider my needs. And I gets news that the Alvarez kids were drowned, but how the did anybody find them so fast? Like, after the encounter in the hallway, they must have been led to the water without anyone at St. Victoria seeing them. Then the security guard must have checked their room like 30 minutes later or something. And then they put out a search party and found them within minutes. Also, if your movie's going to resort to multiple scenes of child murder in the first 15 minutes, it better have a lot more going on than a half-assed urban legend retelling and jump scares. But I'm sure that's not what this movie is doing, right? How is Patricia even there? When you get charged with locking your children up for 4 days, do you just get a slap on the wrist and sent back home? What is this, Texas?
Who did you try to stop?
La Llorona.
We're only 2/5 of the way there, but I'm feeling generous, so let's roll credits. Apparently, La Llorona decided to hang around at the scene of the crime hours after committing it. I guess we'll find out later that because she drowned her own kids, everyone's kids gotta drown or some but goddamn, it's been 300 years. Maybe it's time to get over it. That's insensitive even after 300 years, isn't it? I'm not saying movies always need subtitles, but in a scene where I'm supposed to be creeped out, maybe knowing what she's saying would help. And you're saying she couldn't get through a locked door when she can do this? How did Patricia's trap the kids in the closet maneuver work at all? Even though we see some symbols written on the door and candles and By the way, this movie will never explain this, and the movie's villain will do things that render Patricia's actions here totally moot.
Sam! Sam, let me in!
But why is the door locked? Chris left the car and Sam was asleep this whole time, so it should have still been unlocked. That was super nice of La Llorona to wait to make an appearance till the kids could get the door closed and were safe in the car. Also, if he finally got the car door shut, why is the interior light still on? This is where demons get frustrating as hell. I'm gonna roll your window down. That'll be creepy. Why don't I just open the door and take the kids? I'll tell you why. Stuff your mouth full of dicks, that's why. Then why is Chris able to roll the window back up? Not so much because of the powerful demon, but because those manual window handles they put on cars back then sucked ass. Between this, The Prodigy, Pet Sematary, Annabelle Comes Home, and The Hole in the Ground, there are so many goddamn haunted and or evil kid horror movies in 2019, I'm honestly having to remember every few minutes which one I'm watching. If you told me that Linda Cardellini was in every one of them, I would 100% believe you.
He's a curandero. The ritual is called smudging.
Cool, but I didn't ask you. Also, hey, it's Father Perez, so that we know it's in the Conjuring universe. Wait a goddamn second. This is a Conjuring-verse movie? Because none of the advertising said that. Must be because they knew they had a great movie that would stand out on its own, and not that they thought it was and didn't want to admit it connected in any way. I'm sure it was the first thing.
She discovered him in the arms of a younger woman. She murdered their children. In a fit of jealous rage, she drowned them in the river.
And a pre-existing psychosis or history of drug use, probably. But the story sounds better if it's just for some dumb reason like that.
And is cursed to roam the earth, searching for children to take their place.
So, wait, this woman drowned her own kids and killed herself, and that gives her license to come after other people's kids for centuries? And how does drowning other kids give her a chance to be a mom again? This would have made sense if the kids were taken from her in some up way that wasn't her fault. Then she got cursed when she prayed to a demon to bring them back. But this is just her and the spirit world's bylaws being a total dick. Anna either doesn't have her pool closed for the season or she doesn't do a very good job of keeping it clean. Either way, it's a sin. It's too bad this umbrella company went out of business. Their products let you see ghosts. Sometimes the world isn't ready for your genius. Normal everyday folks said, yeah, the umbrella keeps me dry. Yeah, I can talk to my dead mom occasionally, but so f***ing what? I can get the little red umbrella $1 cheaper. Also, it's clear that over the last 300 years, La Llorona has been biding time, honing up on parlor tricks while waiting for there to be other kids for her to drown. I'm just wondering, how does all this f***ery translate into being so upset that you drown your own children again? Shouldn't the people you exact revenge on be husbands who cheat on their wives? If all the ghost has to do is grab kids' arms, then why all the bullshit preamble? I mean, if she planned this out correctly, she could probably grab 50 to 100 arms a day without breaking a sweat.
Honey, what happened to your arm?
I fell.
That's quite a fall.
Anna has to be the most incurious social services worker in history. She doesn't bother to ask how Sam fell, which might catch her in a lie and give her much needed information. She just accepts it and moves on.
Well, if you're not in the mood to talk, personal problems have our professional ones.
I would give every sin back if Coop's professional problem was that he needed Anna to save the last dance with him. Hey, it's that guy that was, doing something earlier. Yeah, not sure why this scene is in here other than to say don't forget about Raphael, he's coming up soon. I guess those kids were ugly for a few years between being a baby and present day. Explains the lack of pictures of them in the intervening years. Rocking horse in a horror movie cliche. So let's break this down. What's actually happening here? Is this the way La Llorona gets into the house? Does Anna closing the door prevent her from entering? Why was she this far away when the door opened? Or was that just something the director wanted to do to evoke Sam Raimi? Does any of this matter?
What happened?
You were sleepwalking, baby.
And doors in the house were opening on their own, but let's just look past that.
Is there someone in here? Because my husband is a cop and he's gonna be home any minute now.
This lie gets used a lot in movies, and I've never understood why within the lie the person gives the killer the timetable they have to kill them before said boyfriend or husband gets home.
What are you doing in my house?
Bringing it back to a ghost fight.
Get out of my house!
Why does La Llorona go through all the trouble of getting Anna to investigate the mystery of the lamp turning off, scaring the out of her when she appears in the mirror that is for some reason on the outside of her daughter's room's door, closing and locking Anna in her bedroom, making an appearance in Anna's bedroom, then disappearing when the kids open the door?
And she will come for them. You know why? Because I told her to.
Is that really how this works? Or are these just the ravings of a lunatic? This would have been a lot scarier if La Llorona actually came to the house first instead of Chris running into her at the crime scene. Now I can't tell if she's attacking them because of this angry mom or because Chris is a nosy bastard. Also, I don't understand why Patricia didn't simply take her kids out of school and say they were sick or something. When she was being dragged away by the social services dude, she said,
One more time, Anna!
if she knew how long she'd have to keep the kids locked up, why not make an excuse for the school so that the school wouldn't report them missing? Oh, god damn it. Okay, perhaps I should explain. Isn't anyone else tired of the attic door thing in horror movies? Aren't directors tired of filming slightly ajar attic doors? All requiring one of those extendo hook things to open or close? Attics are awful, and Flowers in the Attic was a shitty book. She is this close to grabbing Chris. Her ruse succeeded. She blended in with the curtain. She's got him. Now, the kid screams and gets away. And I'm beginning to doubt La Llorona's commitment to spark emotion. If La Llorona was a baseball player, she'd be Chris Davis. To be fair, those looks could be less fear of a demon lady and more of a disappointment in their microwave dinners. Those two looks are extremely similar.
A hospital called?
Yeah, welfare check.
Apparently, Coop thought it was best to approach this awkward moment with some surprise dramatic Donna timing. Since Sam did not call for her mom or hear anyone come in the bathroom, and there's been a ton of ghost going on for the last few days, why is she not shocked at least a little bit when these hands touch her hair?
She wants us. She wants us to be hers.
But for unexplained reasons can't just take you and instead has to play hide and seek with you around the house for a few days first. La Llorona nearly succeeds in drowning this girl, and then stops for no reason I can think of other than she had a cake in the oven and she needed to take it out before coming back to finish the job. Or she finally got that phone call about the temp job at the ad agency. Either way, she needs to learn priorities. The door's locked until it's not. I'm sorry. I'm way more frustrated about this demon's inexplicable failures than I am scared of any of the that's happening. I don't know what to say anymore. Scene does not include a lap dance, Dr. Kirk Cockings, something about a Rubik's Cube. I don't know anymore.
But then there was an incident with a doll.
It's always fun when a shitty movie decides to take some time to remind us of an even shittier movie that came before it.
The church works with people who specialize in situations like this.
But we don't have the budget for Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, so you get Tuco from Breaking Bad. But I hear he's a really good closer. Also, isn't it great that the demon in this movie is happening in the same town as the first Annabelle, so that this movie could bring back Father Perez to just barely qualify this movie's inclusion in the Conjuring franchise?
Well, if you've come just to gawk at my shop, I have more important things to do.
One of those things is apparently not getting repeat customers or selling any product. Also, look, dickhead, she just walked in here. She hasn't even had time to gawk. This is a dumb line even for this movie.
What do we do?
We are facing an evil that has no bounds.
Are there demons out there that have bounds? What demon hasn't been described in these movies as the worst possible?
I'm gonna take them to a motel.
Why? She's attached herself to your family, not your house.
Sounds almost insidious or sinister. Also, Anna should have already known this, right? Because if she hasn't already tried to take them to a motel, then I have so many more questions.
I don't think that's gonna help.
How do you know? Also, since he plans on going to her house, why is he being all cryptic and why doesn't he just say, I need to get a few things and then we'll go to your house and I'll do my best?
Take me to your home. We must begin immediately.
I thought you said that La Llorona was attached to the family, not the house. Also, from this point forward, everything involving detecting evil at the house is bull. Because dude just told us that was the case. If she's not connected to the home, then none of this egg should matter.
I'm sorry, are you just gonna rub eggs all over everything?
A conversation Chris Atkinson had with Barrett Share in the Sincast studio while they were naked somehow makes it into this movie.
They say the fire trees wept as La Llorona drowned her children.
First off, who is the they that saw the trees weep when La Llorona drowned her children, especially since the trees were the only witnesses? Second off, whoever came up with the idea to make a cross out of a tree to ward off this demon is on a level very close to the people who thought up the Dark Side of the Moon Wizard of Oz thing. Also, I must know why Patricia Alvarez didn't know about this guy if he's so good at this. He clearly runs in her social circles, since he was at her kid's funeral performing the smudgeoning. Sure, this is all part of Dude's process, but we all know who's really behind this. The Candle Mafia and their cabal of deep-pocketed lobbyists.
She's searching.
For what? Us.
Oh, come on, it can't be that hard. She's been finding you the whole movie. This house isn't that big. Is this one of the bullshittiest things ever said in a movie? Anna survives this. Why is the lantern even still on? She had no issue extinguishing all the candles, but can't turn off a f***ing lantern. The kids flee the table to watch La Llorona do some with a tablecloth. The Curse of Mantelis has a great ring to it, doesn't it? Anyway, what a movie this is. Man, if this stuff's gonna prevent her from coming back in, maybe you should have surrounded the family with that instead of candles. Of course, we've all got to remember that the movie has totally forgotten the thing about the demon being tied to the family and not the house, so it makes weirdly logical sense that he's doing this only because the filmmakers have lost the plot.
And now La Llorona is out of your house.
I'm adding 100 sins because this asshole clearly said the house wasn't what La Llorona was attached to. I can't hammer this home enough.
The back door!
The back door? He didn't put anything near the back door? Dude's got magical tree power at his fingertips, and only after the demon leaves the house does he use it. The stupid stuff people do for dolls makes up a good 3/4 of this goddamn universe. Also, kids. Okay, fine. This is enough of a break in the tree seed barrier for the demon to do some but it looks like all she's doing is using some sort of Darth Vader telekinesis to move Sam out of the house, which is what she could have done when she was reaching for the doll a second ago. Sam is somehow magically way farther into the house in this shot than she was in the previous shot where she was La Llorona. Damn, she didn't take any time drowning Sam this time. That during the bathtub scene lasted a full minute. It hasn't been 30 seconds and already Sam's at the bottom of the pool. So anybody gonna check and see if Anna's okay? And that was an amazing trick Anna pulled, struggling with the demon underwater for that long and still having enough air to scoop up her daughter and bring her to the surface.
What did you do?
Your pool is now filled with holy water. La Llorona had no choice but to leave.
Too bad, in all the history of Catholic prayer and alchemy, they didn't come up with a spell that could just expunge evil no matter where people went. If you make water holy, surely you can make a whole house, city, state, country, or world holy. But I guess that would be too convenient.
La Llorona had your daughter in her grasp. Now when she calls to her, she will go.
But she had her in her grasp during the umbrella scene. This should have already been a thing. All of them have had La Llorona grab them. In fact, Chris was doing that earlier, and it's almost like she forgot she could do this until now. There have been 9 fade to blacks in less than 2 minutes. That's so many fade to blacks, I'm half expecting Dennis Christopher to show up doing a terrible James Cagney impression. We're about to find out that this is Patricia Alvarez, and not the villain. But why is the door unlocked? Why is it so easy for her to get in? And why are Anna and Raphael in a totally different room from the kids?
Chris, they're all locked. What do we do?
I don't know. Keep trying? That's what worked in the past, and I agree it's stupid, but it has worked at least twice in this movie. Also, I'm not sure, but how is Sam no longer a Llorona-worshipping vegetable anymore? This movie's demon, which worked with scary and efficient speed once she entered the house, choked out Anna, and locked all the doors, is now slowly walking upstairs. Because mainstream horror movies decide that once logic is out the door, it no longer applies for anything. I'm sure they're safe. She's been so incapable of opening doors this whole time. Look, I know we give La Llorona a hard time about that whole drowning her kids thing, and yeah, that was a dick move. But on the bright side, she knows how to clean up the attic real nice. Wait, is the mirror a reminder that she's a demon, or is it just a catalyst? If seeing the necklace made her revert to her human face, why does a mirror override that? Man, could you not have done this earlier?
Thank you.
I don't know how I could ever repay you.
It's f***ing weird that Anna doesn't just drive Raphael back to his shop or his house. What does she have to do? Does she have to go to work today? Is she expecting a plumber today?
Can we see inside?
Well, these kids seem well adjusted for having just been through a demon attack. They got over that week-long trauma like it never happened. This last shot is so inconsequential on its own, I gotta ask, is this saying she's the new La Llorona? Or is it just some bull?
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming.
She has support at home.
Because her husband isn't dead.
Children are told to behave. Listen to their elders, or La Llorona will come and steal them away.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Egon, your mucus. When somebody blows their nose and you want to keep it.
Someone in here? Because my husband is a cop.
He's big and he plays football and he'll kick the shit out of you!
That's why these children are practicing to duck and cover just as you do in your school.
Let me get this straight. I steal your dope. I beat the piss out of your mule boy. And then you walk in here and you bring me more, man?
You like what I've done with the place?
It ends tonight.
The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
Have you ever watched a music video and wondered, how'd this person get here? Like, the true story? Well, if you're looking for answers, you've come to the right place. Check out Music from Behind, the new series from CinemaSins that dives deep into the cavernous secrets of your favorite celebrities. Why did Justin Bieber decide to grow that mustache? And does it have anything to do with Russian election interference? Why are Offset and Cardi B so magnetically attracted to each other? And how does that impact the weather in Topeka, Kansas? What does BTS really stand for? Is Kelly Clarkson an adorable robot made specifically for broadcast television? Will Billie Eilish ever speak above a whisper? And if not, why? Find out all this and more on the brand new series, Music from Behind.
Okay, here I am. Sorry I'm late. What do you need?
I think we're actually done.
Holy seriously? Okay, awesome. I'm gonna go cyber stalk my college girlfriend for a while. After I watch this new show, of course.
Cool, that'll give me time to call the authorities. Wait, what were we talking about?
Music from Behind! Watch it!